Welcome back, everybody here. In this video, we are going to talk about one of the most haunting deaths of a young woman that ever happened in Los Angeles. While many people think that this is a made-up story or perhaps a movie or a TV show, no, this really happened in real life. If you have never heard of this case before, you're in for quite a night. And if you have heard of this case, well, then you know exactly what we're talking about here. But either way, let's get started. Here are 10 chilling details about the haunting of the Cecil Hotel. Starting off our list today at number 10, we have this dramatic voiceover which says, "This is not a movie. This really happened." What happened to Elisa Lam? A case still unsolved? With that, there's these flash clips of the Cecil Hotel, and then images of Elisa Lam. At number 9, we have Who Was Elisa Lam? Well, she was just a regular Canadian college student who was traveling in California. She was just 21 years old when this all went down. And while she was traveling in California, she decided to spend some time in Los Angeles and make her way down to the famous Cecil Hotel. Now, you might be thinking, why would anyone go to this hotel? And well, let me tell you, the Cecil has a long history of hauntings and also deaths. So that should answer your question. It's actually kind of crazy that someone would choose that place. But hey, that's just Elisa, I guess. And speaking of the Cecil, next up at number 8, we have the history of the Cecil Hotel, see? The Cecil Hotel was built way back in 1924. It's located in downtown LA and has been known for its crimes, its suicides, and also serial killers that have stayed there in the past. One of the most famous criminals that stayed there was Richard Ramirez, aka the Night Stalker. He stayed there for a couple of weeks in the 1980s and apparently used the hotel as a home base to launch his deadly attacks. Yeah, so if that doesn't set the tone for how scary this place is, I don't know what will. Let's move on to 7 and talk about the elevator video. The reason that this case got so much attention is because the hotel had surveillance footage of Elisa Lam entering the elevator and then never leaving. It's safe to say that this video has spawned more internet theories than any other video in recent memory. In the grainy footage, you can see Elisa Lam pressing the buttons and even peeking out from behind the elevator door. And then she hides again after seeing someone outside the elevator. But then she presses another button and peeps out again. Just before the doors close, the person outside the elevator appears to walk away. And then suddenly she starts pounding on the ceiling of the elevator as if trying to escape. Then she begins opening and closing the door. For about 10 minutes, she does this over and over until the video ends. And according to the timestamp on the video, it's about 3:32 a.m. when this takes place. It's definitely quite blurry and grainy, but you can still see that her eyes are wide with terror. Many people believe that this video holds clues to what happened to her, and others say that it shows she was aware of something sinister inside the elevator. There are many theories surrounding this video and what exactly it means. So let us know in the comments below what you think. Is there anything that you noticed in the video that we missed? Next up at number 6, we have the disappearance. After Lam was seen in that elevator, she was never seen again. If you were staying at the hotel, you would assume that you would see her in the lobby or walking around, but you never did. Now, after 3 days of not seeing Elisa, her family contacted the police and said that they hadn't heard from her since January. However, on February, guests began complaining about low water pressure and also a strange taste in their water. Maintenance workers checked the rooftop water tank and discovered that it was completely empty. When they looked inside the tank, they saw what appeared to be a body inside. Authorities confirmed it was Lam, but could not determine how she ended up there. To make matters even stranger, the tank had a manhole access door, but it was tightly sealed with bolts and nuts. That means whoever or whatever put her up there made sure that she wouldn't be found anytime soon. Maybe it was an accident, right? We'll leave that up to you to decide. Speaking of that, at 5, we have how was the body found? So as I mentioned, the water tank was not easily accessible. It took the maintenance workers a little bit of time to even figure out how to open it. But once they finally did get into the tank, they found her lifeless body floating in the dark green water. Authorities didn't know she was missing at this point, so it wasn't clear why she was put in the tank in the first place. Later, they determined that there were no signs of trauma on her body, which ruled out foul play. But next up at number 4, we have the autopsy results. So the coroner conducted an autopsy and found that she had no drugs or alcohol in her system, which ruled out any possibility of a drug overdose or drunk fall. She also showed no signs of trauma, but how she died still remains a mystery. They eventually ruled her death as an accidental drowning, but they couldn't explain how she got into the water tank in the first place. Even her family said that the answers they were looking for remain unanswered. They wonder why she was in the water tank and how she ended up there. Was it an accident or something more sinister? Speaking of sinister, at number 3, we have conspiracy theories. So you can imagine, there are countless conspiracy theories surrounding the death of Lam. Some say that the Cecil Hotel is haunted, and that's what happened to her. Others say that she was the victim of a government experiment gone wrong. Still, others believe that she was the victim of foul play. However, the most popular theory is that she was mentally ill and somehow climbed into the water tank by herself. But if that were true, then how did she get up there? Why didn't anyone hear her struggle? And how did she end up dead in the first place? All questions that have yet to be answered. Moving on to No. 2, we have the internet impact. When the news broke out about the strange death of Lam, the internet immediately exploded with theories. People looked at every detail, every piece of footage, and every image they could find. There were images of blood spatter in the elevator, and also messages written in lipstick on the mirror. The majority of the internet believed that she was the victim of foul play, especially after that creepy elevator video surfaced. Some people even went as far as hacking into the hotel's website to change the description of the room that she stayed in to say, "Do you dare stay in the room where Elisa Lam met her demise?" But the hotel quickly fixed their website and continued on like nothing ever happened. Well, nothing ever really happened because the hotel tried to distance itself from the incident as much as possible. They rebranded themselves and tried to make it seem like everything was fine, but that didn't work. And when Netflix came along and released a documentary called Crime Scene, The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel, well, that brought back all the haunting memories, and now people are starting to forget that they even rebranded in the first place. Finally, at No 1, we have the truth. So what really happened to Elisa Lam? Was it mental illness, foul play, or was it something darker? While we may never know the truth about what happened to Elisa Lam, one thing is certain: she will never be forgotten. The haunting final line from the Netflix documentary says, "The truth may be lost forever in the shadows of the Cecil Hotel." And that's pretty messed up if you ask me. Thank you guys for watching. Those 10 chilling details about the haunting of the Cecil Hotel. Now it's time to hear from you. What do you think happened to Elisa Lam? Leave that in the comments down below. While you're down there, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, my friends, stay safe. Welcome to the most haunted hotel in the world. This is not a movie. This really happened. If you don't believe me, then listen to this. In January of 2013, a young woman by the name of Elisa Lam arrived at Los Angeles International Airport. She had just finished her exams at the University of British Columbia and was looking forward to a long vacation. She planned to travel around California and even bought a one-way ticket to visit Disneyland. But when she arrived at LA, she checked into the Cecil Hotel. Now, if you don't know much about the Cecil, let me catch you up. It was built in 1924 and has been the site of countless crimes, suicides, and even serial killers. Richard Ramirez, aka the Night Stalker, stayed here in 1985, and just 2 years later a guest jumped off the roof. Then in 1991, a woman was found dead in her room after having been strangled with a pair of pantyhose. Needless to say, the place was cursed, and I wouldn't stay there for all the money in the world. But what happened to Elisa Lam? Well, after checking in, she rode the elevator to her room on the 14th floor. But as the doors opened, she didn't get out. Instead, she pressed the elevator button for the second floor, peered out to see who was coming, then quickly hid. When the coast was clear, she stepped out and was never seen again. Except for one thing, though. There was surveillance footage. It was grainy and blurry, but it showed her getting into the elevator, pressing the buttons and hiding. And since then, the internet has exploded with theories. For example, some say that Elisa was a ghost and that she died in the hotel decades ago. Others say the killer lured her to the elevator and locked her in. Some believe that she was a victim of foul play, while others believe that she was mentally ill. But before we dive into those theories, let me tell you what happened next. 2 days after Elisa disappeared, guests began complaining about low water pressure and a strange taste in the water. Little did they know that her body was in the building's rooftop water tank, How did it happen? That's the question that still haunts me to this day. How did she get up there? The tank was sealed, and it would take an hour to open it. By the time maintenance arrived, it was too late. Elisa was dead. When police arrived, they found no signs of struggle or forced entry. And when they searched her room, they found nothing out of place. In fact, everything was normal except for the missing person. An autopsy revealed that she had no drugs or alcohol in her system and that she drowned. But how, nobody knows. They ruled her death as an accident, but she was clearly not an accident. Some say she slipped and fell, but that doesn't make any sense because the tank was sealed. If she fell, then how did she get out? And if she got out, why didn't she leave the tank? Other questions include, how could she have climbed up there? Why didn't the security guard hear her? And why was she hiding in the elevator? There are many unanswered questions and even more theories, like the one where Elisa was a victim of paranormal activity. You see, the Cecil is considered one of the most haunted hotels in the world. It's said that ghosts roam the halls and that the elevator is a portal to another dimension. But I don't buy it. Personally, I think Elisa was the victim of foul play. What do you think? Is it mental illness, foul play, or something darker? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out the series in the description. Make sure to subscribe because I post new videos every week. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. Hey, are you still watching? Then you must really love scary stories, because I have a whole playlist full of them. So click the link right here to watch more.